announcements, and then we will talk a little bit about our home care joint venture. But starting, I like to start with a star. So, and I always kind of explain what a star is, although many of you have heard this over and over again. But there's going to be some new people in the audience. So whenever somebody goes above and beyond and does something really special, at our directors meeting, which we call our ops meeting, we talk about, is anyone star deserving? And a nomination will come out. And this was a really easy one. So many of you may or may not know, we have an intern in our health center working with our administrator, Allie. And her name is Elle. Elle, can you come up here? Wow, somebody's hooting and hollering back there. That's great. So this is Elle, and her face is normally not this red. So Elle came in, I'd say, just as the summer started, as the semester ended, and she's going to St. Bonaventure, and right away just kind of clicked with the culture of Fox Run, and really has a special touch, connected with all of our community members, and really is a great hand holder, and gets involved in activities. But took it upon herself one day she came to my office and said, we have a resident who is a retired pastor and hasn't seen the folks from his church for a very long time, and unfortunately they can't really come this far or come out to visit us. Would it be okay if I took the bus and took him to his old church? And thank you, right? That's exactly what I did. So, on a Sunday, Elle came in and grabbed the bus and took this resident to their church, and really had just a real heartwarming visit, and I saw a lot of pictures, and it was really, really special. So Elle, thank you so much. Do you want to say anything?
Sure. I'm just really grateful to have gotten this experience, and it's all to Bill and Allie, so thank you very much. And also I just want to say thank you to all of you, because working with you every day, talking to the residents and the workers, has just made me a better person, I think, and has just helped me on my path and what I want to do in the future. So thank you.
Get back to work. You can just tell when somebody's going to go far. She's going to do very well. Thank you, Elle. Okay, now we're going to take it up another level and talk about our MVP for the month of August. So the MVP is somebody who consistently goes above and beyond, and we get nomination forms not just from the team of directors, but from anyone, from their peers, co-workers. So I'd like to call up Courtney Naum. I hope I said your last name right. So I will read the nomination, look, an extended clap, so everyone knows who you are. So Courtney has been working in our bistro all summer. She's been a server for, it's gotta be 4 years at least. 5 years, oh my. So the two nomination forms, one came from Jeremy, who is our supervisor in the bistro. And Jeremy said, Courtney demonstrates our mission statement every day by always showing up with a smile and ready to help our residents in any way she can. Courtney is always on task and completing her job at the highest standards. She's often the first choice when we need to complete any task or to train team members. She's often complimented and praised by our residents for her friendly and helpful attitude. And then from Aaron Stolinsky, our assistant director, I've had the pleasure of working with Courtney over the last 5 years. Courtney is a key part of this team. We can always count on Courtney, whether it's peeling potatoes. You peel potatoes? That's great. Peeling potatoes, getting ready for the next event, cashing out residents with a big smile, but most recently, training our new team members. I've been asked several times over the past year how our servers are so well trained and so polite. I tell them we have great trainers and point to Courtney. Our department is grateful for having such an incredible person on our team. Thank you, Courtney, for all you do and staying on this team over the years. We appreciate you. So, Courtney, thank you so much. I see you smile every day. There you go.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. Well deserved. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of my job. I love doing this. this. So, great, what a great team. Okay, so speaking of dining, did anyone attend Lisa's special dinner? How was it? So what an amazing event, and Lisa was really hoping that that patio would open sooner than later. But what a great idea to have all of her team get to pick a course and run with it. So not only does it show the confidence she has in the team, and all those cooks have been here for quite a few years, so it's a consistent team and a consistent meal, but they get excited over that because they get to show off their skills. But how nice, and I've already gotten a couple emails and letters from many of you to say how great it was. So thank you, Lisa, for what a great dinner. We're looking forward to more of that. Okay, moving on. Next week we have a big summer concert series, our third of the 4 installments. I think we have the Nerds Gone Wild. Yeah. And if anyone remembers the last time we were here, they do have quite a following, so just be prepared, and please, I ask for your patience. As parking has been an issue during construction, we're going to have a lot of visitors here, so we're going to have them park along the road, so just know it's going to be quite an event. But more importantly, it's going to be a great concert, and we're going to have a hot dog cookout, that Morrison is footing the bill for, but you're going to have to pay for it because they're donations that go to a good cause. So we're excited about Wednesday, and I put in a request for good weather. Hopefully we get it. I know Amanda and Matt had talked a little bit over, I think a couple weeks ago, about asking for your patience with housekeeping, but I do have a good update. According to Matt, we've hired in the past few weeks 5 new housekeepers and 2 new maintenance team members. So it's going to take a little while to get them trained, get them up to speed, but I just want to give you that update that we're always trying, and I think they're doing a great job of bringing people on board. So things should get back to normal soon. Okay, a little bit about construction. So Liesl, unfortunately, is not here today, and she says these things so much better than I do. But I want to give you just a little preview because it's going to get a little hectic over the next few weeks. I'm just going to give you a teaser of what's going to be happening, but just know that next week, on Wednesday the 12th, right at the second half of the resident council meeting, Liesl is going to do a special presentation to give you more detail on what's going to happen in the common areas, because we're going to be turning things upside down a little bit. So what I'm saying now, don't worry, she's going to do a formal presentation, and we're trying to bring in more folks, more community members to hear what she has to say, because we want to communicate and keep you up to date. But a couple things that will be happening is the flooring is the big thing right off the bat. So all the hardwood flooring is going to be coming up and replaced with new hardwood flooring, and that's going to start on August 21st. What they're going to do is start demolition and do it overnight. Oh wait, Matt?
That just changed.
Oh my God.
Do you see how fluid we have to be?
Yeah, really.
So I'm not going to give you, so let's say around that date. So the week of the 24th, what they're going to do is they're going to tear up the floor overnight. And then they're going to put in some temporary flooring that you can walk on during the day, and then start replacing some of it, and then do more tear off. But there's going to be at least one day where we're going to close down the front entrance. What we're going to do is we're going to station somebody, hopefully out nearby, and we're going to open these doors right over here, these exit doors, so you're going to be coming in through the event center, but that will only be for the day, for one day. Thank you, Matt. So with that, again, now because we're changing all the flooring and the common area, the reception and concierge are going to move back to their new space because they're going to be done with the new wellness area on August 28th. And which means by the 31st, reception and concierge are going to move into their new space so that we can close down the rotunda area. I'm turning the page. Soon, I say soon, we don't have a date yet, we're going to leave this up to Lehigh, but we're going to be moving the mailboxes then, probably mid-month in September, from where they are now to their permanent location. And very soon, starting right after Labor Day, the dining room is going to open and start serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. More details will be coming on that, and then once we open that up, Lehigh is going to take over the bistro. So we're going to shut down the bistro completely, which has just been a great resource for us with all the construction, but now we're going to finally work on that piece. And during this process, again, beginning of September, we're going to see Jackie and Chelsea, Mary and Nettie, Matt from fitness, Lori, Sherry, Julia are all going to move down. Julia's our new marketing assistant. Thank you, wave back there, Julia. Just started a couple weeks ago. They're all going to be moving down to the new wellness suite area. So we're going to be opening up a new section and closing down another. And then once this happens, once all this starts happening, we're going to build a tunnel. It's not really a tunnel. It's really a walkway, because we're going to be shutting down the whole area where the pool table was, and we'll go back to. And we're going to have probably a 7-foot wide frame structure with a covering, so Lehigh can take over all of this. So where Jackie and Chelsea's office is, and Mary and Nettie, that's all going to be gutted, and that's going to be the site of the new pub. But there's going to be a walkway that you can safely go through, because Lehigh is going to be working all the way around it. And there will be side double doors. One, so the construction workers can head toward the maintenance area, and there'll be access for all of you to get to the library, which is currently open. The library will be the temporary source of our pub while under construction. So a lot is going to be happening. At some point, they're going to rope off the entire rotunda and block that off so they can start working on that. But this is all happening very soon, and hopefully will only take a few months to get through. I want to thank the folks that work in the wood shop, because the wood shop folks have spoken with Liesl. Lehigh needs, what happens when you have a project like this is it's hard to have delays because you lose the subcontractors, so you have to keep them busy. So Lehigh asked, is there something we can work on? And the folks in the wood shop said it was okay, thank you again. On September 1st, we're going to close down the wood shop for 6 weeks. So there's quite a bit of work that's going to be done in there. Starting today, the puzzle tables, which are right out here, are going to move to the gallery. And in the coming weeks, the library committee is going to start moving books from their temporary location, assisted living, to the actual library. So quite a bit of moving parts, a lot happening. Any questions on that? I tried to say it as fast as I could so nobody could ask questions, and of course Sue has one. Yes, Sue.
My greatest concern is tomorrow evening with the first home Bills game. What is the upgraded security for Fox Run?
So there's no upgraded security. It is the security that's been working, I think, all last season. I think we did a nice job with new signage to keep folks. Listen, we can't stop people from driving through. I'm going to talk about that in a second because we have a new idea. We've been able to reduce the number of people that wait here for Uber rides. I personally come here every game and I drive around and I catch people if they're parking illegally. We haven't had any in a while. We do have people that will park on California Road and pick up rides now, but they haven't been on campus since we put our new signage out that's private property. And we specifically ask ride sharing not to stay on campus. But will the occasional person come through? I don't know that we can stop that. But the good thing is the stadium's much further than the old one from our campus. So it's all the way on the other side of the street. So we'll do the best we can, Sue, and if anything comes up, of course, please let us know, and we'll do the best we can to address it. And we've also asked when the police usually have a presence right at our entrance now, too.
Should some type of notice be put out for residents, family, or friends that they get something at the front desk so they can park?
Yes.
I would call legally here.
Yes, thank you, Sue. So what we try to do every year is we have a green slip of paper. So if you have a family member that wants to park here because it's only a mile walk, I say only a mile, that actually doesn't feel that long when you walk it, that they can park here. We're going to have to talk about that, whether we want to limit that because parking is at a premium here now. Maybe we want to keep people away. It hasn't, honestly, we haven't had many people take advantage of that, but again, to your point, we'll come up with some announcements, and if we do open it up, we'll let people know and put it in all of your mailboxes.
Thank you kindly.
No, thank you. I appreciate the suggestion. Okay, I talked so much, my tablet fell asleep. Yes, yes, Paula.
Yeah, that tunnel that you're talking about, does it go from the Commons to the Health Department?
So the tunnel that I mentioned is going to start probably right around the first window of where the current pub is, and it's going to go all the way down past the wood shop. Because right at the wood shop is where construction is going to end. So it's going to be a pretty long stretch all the way straight shot right down the hall and stop right around the wood shop area.
They will install windows.
And there's going to be windows so you can peek in and see to make sure that they're actually working.
Oh, how nice.
Okay, yes,
Is this indoor tunnel or outdoor?
it's indoor. So it's going to be right down this hallway. So I'm going to see how good this microphone is. So if you walk out the door and it's going to start right about here. So there'll be a way to get into the restrooms, and then it's just going to be really just an enclosure with a ceiling. So because they're going to work on both sides, and they're going to be working this in. A lot of the work they have to do, at least up front, is going to be the duct work, the HVAC stuff in the ceiling, the sprinkler system. All of that is going to be, I guess, addressed. Yes, Janice.
I haven't seen any drone show pictures or.
Yeah, so Janice said we haven't seen drone pictures. So when we started with Lehigh, they sold us on this drone thing that they were going to do, and then the gentleman with the license retired. So he was their marketing person, so we don't have that. They do have another person they talked about they might be able to do it.
You did it.
I think we got some on YouTube.
Oh.
Actually, she's been sending.
Okay, so they do have another drone pilot.
Yes.
You have to have a license, and
Yeah.
So Killian said we're going to have some stuff up on YouTube.
I think
so-
yeah, I think there is now.
Oh, there's stuff now.
You couldn't do it because.
See,
you
what
don't
do
have
I know?
a-
I just run the place.
You couldn't do it because you don't have a license?
We're not Janice. Shh.
Oh,
No, I'm just not as talented. The drones are much better now, and I think the folks that are professionals are
Got
much
it.
better than I was. Because I had done drone footage of our last expansion. Yes, somebody raised their hand over. Yes.
I like the sign out there that says your speed is.
Oh, yeah. Thank you
Oh,
for bringing
yeah.
that up.
good.
Because I'm going to circle back to my next point. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch people drive through very quickly on campus, and we've been racking our brains. How do we stop it? And I had enough on Thursday where people are cutting through between California Road and 28. So Matt is now purchasing speed bumps, and we're putting speed bumps in between there, just to at least slow people down. You can't stop them from cutting through, but Thursday somebody went through so quickly I yelled at them as they were going. I couldn't catch them. I tried running after them. Seriously, I did. But we're hopefully slow them down. But we've added a radar detector with a speed sign out here to tell you how fast you're going. You'd be surprised when you're over 15 miles an hour. You feel like you're crawling.
Yeah.
But I tested it and I got up to 23, and it felt fast. So hopefully people see that and they slow down. Matt also purchased 4 new 15-mile-an-hour speed limit signs, and so those are going to go up around campus, and hopefully just people have more awareness. And what we're finding is sometimes it's a contractor, sometimes, most of the time it's family members that are coming through. So I watched one on camera on Thursday that went around and was visiting somebody in the back. So when we can catch them, we'll remind them, and then it creates more awareness. But I think people are in a hurry. So
What about ambulances?
Well,
Above
the-
the rides?
they're allowed to speed through here, ambulances.
But going
No.
over speed bump?
Yes, so so if they're coming to the health center, this area is going to be opening up. Yes, ambulances will have to deal with it too. They'll have to slow down. They're not going to go that fast when they have a patient in the back. Usually it's not. They have access to the main entrance without hitting a speed bump. Right now the two are going just in between the cut through.
It has to be done. It really.
Any other questions on construction before I move on to our speaker? Okay, great. So I've been talking about this for at least 3 years now. We're talking about a joint venture that Fox Run is doing with Canterbury Woods to come up with our own home care agency. Now, just to give you a little more background, New York State had a moratorium on home care agencies because there's quite a few out there. There's some good players and there's some bad players. But if you're a CCRC, you can still get a license, which we applied for. It took a long time to get it. And our license allows us to serve the folks of our respective campuses. So that's Fox Run campus, the Canterbury Woods, Williamsville campus, and their downtown Gate Circle campus. And the hope was, when we combined forces, we would have enough volume between all of you and all the folks at Canterbury Woods that we could successfully operate a home care agency that serves all of you. Now, we looked at our own numbers, and there's a lot of companions here that work private duty, they get paid cash, whatever it may be. We're not gonna stop you from using any of those. This is just another service because many of you are using those private duty aides, many of you are using agencies. We want to give you what we're hoping is going to be a more reliable resource. We're also going to give you a resource that really understands the model of the CCRC. And I know a lot of private duty aides are uninsured when they're here. So if there's something that goes wrong, you're putting yourself at risk and that private duty person that's being paid under the table at risk. So what we're hoping is we create our own agency, staff it properly, and have somebody on site here that if there is a need and you're not ready to use the health center services and you want to stay independent a little longer in your apartment, you can use these services. Now, we're starting out slow. We're starting out with just companion services, which is what many folks here already have. Eventually, we will build up to those home health aide type services or nursing type services as this grows. Literally, we just hired our director and she started on Monday. And, but we wanted to bring her in to introduce to all of you, maybe talk a little bit about the program and answer any questions you may have. But again, this has been a process that's gone on for a very long time. It took the New York State Department of Health several years to finally approve. They were enthusiastic about it, but they did finally give us approval, and now we can start moving forward. So our new executive director of the program has quite a bit of experience. Her name is Bonnie Glicka, and she joins our team with 30+ years of experience as a registered nurse working in nurse executive, clinical operations leadership positions throughout her professional career, including 8 years as the Senior Vice President of Nursing or Chief Nursing Officer at ECMC. Bonnie, do you want to come up? So Bonnie will, thank you. And before I hand it off, the plan is Bonnie's going to split her time. If you have a 5-day work week, it'll be, I'm assuming, about 2 days at Fox Run, 2 days at Canterbury, and 1 day at Gate Circle. So without further ado, I'll finally stop talking. Bonnie?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. And like you said, I have a tremendous amount of nursing experience. Actually starting in New York City. Undergrad, I went to Syracuse University for my nursing degree, and all the people I met, they're like, oh, come to New York, come to New York. But nobody lived in New York. They lived on Long Island and this and that, but I still got settled there and got one of the most exciting experiences of my life. The standards were really, really high, and just constructing different programs. So there, like, I opened up an open heart program, and there was a lot to deal with in doing that, but those skills are translatable for opening up such a program here. So excited to get that off the ground. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's going to be in different sections. We do have an application into the state that's being reviewed for the home health care agency, so we're waiting for feedback for that. But there's less jurisdiction over the companion portion, so we should be able to get that off the ground much more quickly. So probably in the next few weeks, we'll be putting out advertisements for hiring, and then we'll be pulling in those companions to be able to assign to you all who might need them. And as you said, if you have companions now, we're not going to replace them, but this is a good option for the future, or especially when, let's say, the snow hits and a companion can't get in, we might be able to replace them with these services on an ad hoc basis. But I'm very relational, so I do want to hear from you, like what has worked in the past, what could we do differently as we're constructing this program. And when it gets to the nursing side, there'll be opportunity for like involvement from the residents in the quality review portion of it, because we'd be looking at how the care is delivered, and we would want that feedback from the users. But I don't know if anybody has questions for me, because I was saying it's just getting started. Go right ahead.
My question would be I think this one would be for Bill.
Oh boy.
I know. Do you?
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Okay. Do you know exactly how many people that reside here have companions and who, you know, who they are and which ones?
So the question was, and I'll just, so instead of handing the mic off, we'll just repeat it. Do we know how many folks at Fox Run actually use companion services? We do. So we had to come up with a count for all 3 campuses, and we have, thanks to Allison and Lori Garcia, we have a great idea, a great sense of who's using whom and how many folks. I would say roughly 20, up at times 25 folks between independent living and assisted living and skilled nursing who have just companion services coming in. It's gone higher. Canterbury has quite a bit more. They're a little larger than we are, but the numbers, even if we attract 30 to 40% of those folks, we should get to a point of break even for this joint venture. Our goal isn't to make money on this. Our goal is to offer services. I mean, it could be down the road if this really grows. We want to be able to offer better services for all of you.
So if a companion is, our director said,
My name's Bonnie too, just, I'll keep repeating it, it's Bonnie.
Bonnie, she stated, like, if one doesn't show up because of snow, how would you know?
So this
If
is,
this isn't one.
so the question is, if somebody doesn't show up, how would we know?
And it's not their girl. Let's say it's.
Okay, so let me, if I get this right. So if somebody else that's not using Foxwoods has a companion that doesn't show, how do we know? We wouldn't. We wouldn't unless somebody calls in a panic and they call for Lori Garcia to come help. See, this is, we wanted more consistency of service. There's some great companions that work at Fox Run. Some folks who have been here for a very long time, but the truth is some of the agencies that they brought in, they have not been as reliable. And so to Janice's question, if somebody doesn't show, what do? You're kind of in a bind because you're reaching out to an agency to say your person didn't show up. And we're hoping to, because of the draw of only being at Fox Run, so we're gonna have employees that are only gonna wanna work here. Whereas if you think about a typical home care agency, a worker may work in Orchard Park today, Lockport tomorrow, on the east side of Buffalo on next week, and they're bouncing around. But this is, I hate to say this selfishly, but there's an attraction to just working on this campus or just working at Canterbury Woods. So that's why we really feel strongly that this is going to work and work well.
Right, and part of that's what I would be constructing. So there'll probably be contact numbers in that situation where you'll be either reaching out to me, or I'm not sure what staff I might have available to me, and then we would try to place somebody with you. I can't guarantee 100% of the time, but that's where we'd be looking at the amount of companions we need to carry. And there's a category called per diems where people work ad hoc. So I would have a quick list, and I just know from the hospital side, people like call me, do you have anything for me? So it could go pretty fluidly, but we would have that contact number. I'm assuming that has to be discussed, but that would be how you could reach out in that situation.
Who's gonna be the billing agency for this program? The Canterbury Woods, Fox Run, or a third entity, New Corporation?
Yeah.
Great question. Who's going to be the billing agency? So between Canterbury Woods and Fox Run, we split up duties, right? So the human resource function is going to be held at Canterbury Woods. The accounting and billing function is going to be here at Fox Run with our own staff. And then what we'll be able to do is we'll have a services agreement with Foxwoods where whatever time our CFO and her staff are applying for the accounting work, it'll be billed back, and then Foxwoods can pay Fox Run, so we're not losing our time.
Well, that is the invoice then gonna say Foxwoods?
The invoice will be this is a for-profit organization that's owned by 2 not-for-profits. So it's a joint, it's an LLC, right? But it's kind of a partnership where we own 40% and Canterbury Woods owns 60% of it. So all the profits and losses will be split 60-40. But yes, and then we have shared services agreements to take care of all the pieces. And lots of lawyers are involved to make sure that this works out right. Yes?
How do you check the credentials? Check and double check credentials?
It's part of the hiring process, and then there's requirements via the state and via our institutions but we would do fingerprinting, there's sometimes, you know, different security checks. And part of the interview process, you can see, you know, what their past history was. They could have references to see how reliable they are. And just with questions that you pose to them, like I got the nursing and, you know, that part down because I would give clinical scenarios and see if they would respond appropriately. And I could tell if wrong answer, right answer, which would give me perspective whether or not I would hire that person. So that again is part of the hiring process. And then there is that review over time. If people aren't, you know, because I sometimes, you know, this person seems wonderful, also they're not showing up, they're not doing this, and then we have a talk with them and they might not be employed any longer, but that's on them if they're not responding appropriately to their own accountabilities.
Where,
Oh, go ahead.
where are you gonna be located at Fox Run?
Oh,
Are you
that's-
gonna be here or over on that other side?
That's in a work in progress. I'm gonna have a temporary office here, and then after the construction, I'll have another office. So, but you'll always have my contact number to locate me, you know, that way. But there is gonna be a set office here and at the Canterbury, Wood site in, Amherst, Williamsville area. But I won't have an office at, Gates, but I'll be there.
So here it's gonna start out, we have an office in the health center, and then when the wellness office opens up at the end of the month, there's gonna be a space in the wellness office.
Oh, good.
Will fees be commensurate with other healthcare agencies?
Great question.
Meaning commensurate, like
If
together?
I need a companion, will my cost be commensurate with other agencies that I might use?
Same.
Actually, we're thinking, and again, I don't have the cost part, but we're thinking it's probably gonna be a little bit cheaper, but I would rather.
It'll
get
be
that
similar,
detail.
yes.
It would be similar, it would be similar,
It
competitive.
depends on the service and who you, here,
Yeah.
So Sue's question, are the fees commensurate with other agencies? The answer is yes. It actually might be a little cheaper than other agencies. It's really hard for us to know what the private duty folks are charging. We have an idea, and we think it's in that range, possibly again even cheaper. But it's kind of the Wild West right now with folks having their own companions and they're paying them cash under the table because we don't know exactly what you're all paying those folks. But if you're gonna compare us to other agencies, yes, it'll be right on target. Alona.
I'm totally ignorant on all of this, I am, still. But down the road, do insurances cover any of these things at all?
So right now, companion services, I believe, are private pay, and it's or private pay without insurance. But once Bonnie starts growing this program and we get into home health aid and nursing services, yes, they're covered by insurance.
Thank you.
And that's part of the application process with the state, that you have to get that certification, that works with the insurance side of it.
Thanks.
Mrs. Ward, you had your hand a couple times.
Thank you. Is human resources play any role in this at all?
So the question is human resources playing any role? Yes. So this is the nice thing about the relationship we have with Canterbury Woods. Technically, we're competitors, but we're really not. We share advice, information, best practices all the time. So with regards to human resources, Pierre Rogers, our HR director, we're over here on my left, is very close with Nanette, who is their HR director. So Canterbury will be handling the human resource piece of it, but they do talk back and forth. So when we were lucky enough to hire Bonnie, the two worked together to come up with how are we going to attract the best candidates, and then the interview process was shared on both campuses. But the actual day-to-day, once we start hiring people, and the vetting process that Bonnie talked about, and the benefit, all of that is going to go through Canterbury Woods' HR department.
Thank you.
Yes?
You just answered one of my questions, but I have become aware of the various steps that people go through as they leave independent living and move into the healthcare center. But there's what you're doing, and does the setup here preclude the use of hospice? I have not been aware of anybody here
Okay, so that's a really great question. I'll repeat it. So essentially, we're tying, it's the question really ties the services from Foxwoods to the continuum of care through the health center and including hospice services. So the hope is these home care services that will help folks in their independent living apartments will help people move through the continuum. Because right now, I think sometimes the companions want to keep people here longer because they don't want to lose the money that they're earning. We're going to help guide everyone further in through the process. But if somebody gets to the point where they need hospice services, they can have hospice services in our health center. We've had quite a few, and they can actually have them in the home as well. You just don't see it. We don't really talk about it too much, but typically what we do is Allie will talk with, and our social worker in our health center will talk with the family and suggest hospice services, and they will come in. And hospice, and the billing is a little tricky. They bill you directly, or however it works. Quite a few folks do use hospice here. And then quite a few of our community members opt out of that because the service, the care we give is very similar in our health center. But this program shouldn't preclude it.
Hospice enables you to keep your loved one at home.
Yes, and we have had folks here, and the point, well, a great point. I really love hospice. It's a great service. We actually had the CEO here several years ago. We were going to try to work out a program together. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to work out, but it's a great service that you can have in your own independent living apartments. And I'd say the most common scenario is a couple, right? Where one spouse, their health is failing, and they bring the services in. And I'm thinking, I won't name names, but I'm thinking of somebody who actually used it not that long ago. And they were able to bring those services in to keep that person in their independent apartment. And it's not for everyone. You'd rather be in a health center, but it is still available, and this program really does not influence that at all. Great question.
But
Yes.
they'd be there to help if somebody decided to do that.
So we'd be here, the companion services right now will be here to help. Sometimes companions might do light housekeeping. Sometimes companions will just sit with you or make you a meal. And sometimes it's just to be there for you in a tough time.
And I have another question.
Oh, there's somebody behind you that was raising their hand. Yes, Mr. Speck.
Do the hospice patients here ever go out to Cheektowaga to hospice main campus?
So the question is, do any folks, any residents here who have been on hospice go to Cheektowaga? Yes, that has happened. Most of the time they stay here in our health center and just work with our health center team. But yes, we have had folks that prefer to move out to the Cheektowaga campus. It's beautiful there. My grandmother was there. Janice? You're at your quota, by the way. This is your last one.
I always ask good questions.
I'm glad you think that.
I do.
And I thank you for letting me pick on you.
I've been told. I guess my question would be for independent. I have to speak in the mic.
Okay.
I guess my question for independent would be, I know people here that could probably use, well, I shouldn't say I know. If there are people here that could use a companion and they go there, do they encourage them to do things and let's do this, let's go here, let's walk over here? Because some people are so closed in that they don't come out, and people have to drag them to do different things.
Right, so part of the training is to be encouraging. I mean, you can't force somebody to do something they don't want
Well,
to
like
do.
making a
But you're
puzzle.
trying to be encouraging and about their wellness and give different opportunities for them to have more interaction or just walking around for their health, whatever it might be. But yes, these roles, all of them would be in that wellness continuum.
Because when we're done here, we're gonna have a movie theater, we're gonna have a golf thing. I mean,
Yeah, I wanna go.
I know.
So-
I mean, it's just gonna be so.
Yeah, there's lots to do, which
There
is
is.
wonderful as part of the community, absolutely. But yeah, that would be part of the training that we would be encouraging them to make sure that's carried out that way, to your point.
Okay.
Any other questions? wouldn't necessarily saying it's being developed, but it's gonna be competitive with the current, agencies that are providing the care now. So more to come on that, cause I'm sure they're gonna put like PR materials out, and we'll make sure you'll know what that fee structure is. Any other questions? Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thanks for the warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. We look forward to seeing you here on campus on a regular basis. There is one introduction I forgot to make. We have a brand new board president, the person I report to, so I want him to leave quickly before you tell him all the bad stuff, but this is Bob Hoover. Bob, if you want to... Bob's been on the board for a number of years and was most recently our vice president, and he just moved up to president. So, okay, well, and if there isn't anything else, I guess it's the first time here I get to say go Bills, even though it's just a practice.
Go Bills.
The new stadium, but go Bills. Thank you all.